Hey guys, it's me with a video. I'm sorry if some of you guys are offended by this, but I said in my spy punk ASMR part 2 if you wanted me to do a Toby ASMR at the end, but I'm actually going to do it now because I literally can't wait. And it is in the middle of the night, so this will not be very long. I'm just going to tell you the role plays, what you're going to play as. You're going to be playing as a abused child, an abused kid. I'm sorry if that offends any of you, but it's the only idea I could think of. You are an abused kid that gets locked outside, and you meet Toby when you're out there. That's basically what we're going to be. That's what you're going to be playing as. So forgive me if you get Believe me if there's any fans out there that's a fan of him. I'm sorry if you get offended by this. Keep in mind that this is my first ever Tiki Toby ASMR. And I am a fan of Tiki Toby. I'm a fan. And he's one of my favourites. Creepypastas. So I'm gonna basically start on this. But yeah. This will not be very long because I need to have a rest soon, so I was gonna get you started. You were going downstairs in the night to get something to eat when your mum stopped you and yelled at you. This obviously didn't bother you because you were already enough. You were already enough of this. And by the way, if any of you got abused when you were little, I am terribly sorry, but this is the only idea I could think of. But back to that. You just rolled your eyes at your mother and yelled back. Your mother was mad than she normally got and chucked you outside in the middle of winter. You thought you could just go to your friend's house, but it was so dark outside that you couldn't actually see anything until you hear a faint high sound from a nearby tree. This tree, it had an aura around it, but it was very creepy. So you walked around it, not knowing what else to do, and you find a boy looking by the age of around the age of 17. He was carrying a hatchet, wearing a browny grey gear over him and a mask over his mouth. You didn't find it suspicious because you have seen worse. So you say hi back to him with you being awkward. You kind of stared at each other for a bit. When you noticed the axe he was carrying, you walked backwards a few steps, obviously terrified of what he may do. This terrified you mentally, because you did not know who he was, what he was going to do, how powerful is he, if he was going to attack or not. So you wanted to get away fast as you possibly can. So you ran in the opposite direction of your home because you forgot how to get back. When you were running, you tripped over a rock and sprained your ankle and was not able to get up. The 17-year-old boy walked after you and tried to help you up. You were just thinking you're gonna die by him, but he helped you up and you were still trembling from the sudden scare that he caused you when he was behind the tree. He asks what your name is and you ask for his. He looked at you and said, "My name's Toby," he says. He followed up by saying, "Well, it's really ticky, Toby, but I don't go by that title." You heard his name get called once in your life when you were locked in your bedroom and someone tried to break in. You heard the same voice of the 17-year-old boy that you just met, or Toby, if you want to call him by name. You heard him yelling to the same person who was trying to break into your room. You heard him yell to one of his friends, and you were trying to keep it together and not freak out. You think back to that moment, and you do not know if this 17-year-old boy planned this to happen, but you were thinking of what to tell him to try not to offend him. But yeah, guys, that's all. That's what I'm gonna do for tonight. But as I said, it's very late, and I want to get some sleep. So I'm gonna finish the video here for today. I'm sorry if any of you got offended. This is my first. This is my first Ticci Toby ASMR, and I do not have any microphone or voice changers, so I don't really know how to do a impression. So yeah. But comment down below if you want a part two, and see you next.